guys, let's do this official. And let's talk about some of my favorite products so far that are skincare and beauty kind of mixed together, which I love because I think that unless someone's going out, have a photo shoot, a lot of people want this like no makeup look, and they want foundation that has skincare benefits. And so that comes down to CC creams, which are correctors, and then BB creams, which are like beauty bombs. And so a really popular one is It Cosmetics here. And I'm going to tell you guys pros and cons of these. So I like this one because a lot of derms are involved with some of the development and things like that. They have been around for a while. They do have a few shades, I would say more than other CC creams. So they have like fair all the way to deep bronze. They have a few different, so these are the two I see. I was in LA, there was another one that was more of like a gel as well, but I don't know if they have that one here. But in general, they have one that is your skin but better, just normal skin types, what they call it, just like everyday skin types. That's not too oily, not too dry. And then they have the matte one. I do like this because it's SPF 50. It has some anti-aging ingredients. It is a chemical sunscreen, so it doesn't have that oxidation. Or if you prefer a physical sunscreen, this is not that. And I was just looking, believe they have like niacinamide. It's hydrating. Let me see here. So when it comes to matte, these are just a little bit more on the kind of powdery side. It's a little bit thicker. So you really do have to be careful. I have a feeling whenever something is thicker and more matte, you want to apply it with more of a brush or even a beauty blender versus things that are a little bit more liquidy, less viscosity. You can apply it with your fingers and it may be better, and actually using a beauty blender may not apply very well. Because if you think about it, something really thin is going into the beauty blender there, and when you're applying it, you're just getting like an uneven texture. So application could be an issue when it comes to these. I will say these are almost on the full coverage side, like medium to full coverage side. So people who want a skin tint or a little bit more lighter formulation, this is not for you. This is really thick. I would consider this almost like a thicker foundation. So be careful about this. What I do like about this, it is nice even for more mature skin types because it does have that hydrating formula. Looking at the few first ingredients, this is considered like a silicone based foundation. And that's because the first ingredient is water and the second ingredient is dimethicone. Dimethicone is a type of silicone. I don't know why everyone hates silicone. I personally don't find an issue with it. I think it works for most skin types. Let me see if the matte has that too. So interesting. For the matte, which is usually oily, more acne prone skin types, the first few ingredients are a little bit different and it doesn't have dimethicone. So basically, I really like silicone because it lays on your skin. It's the main formula in a lot of these like primers that give you that airbrush feel. The only problem with this, some people say if you are because basically it lays on your skin really nicely. So for me, I think it keeps a lot of the oil from coming out, and also it really just helps just make a really nice finish. The problem with it is someone has a really oily skin, it could be a bit occlusive, which means that the oil could not perhaps come out and your skin is just a little bit more congested, your pores are a little bit more congested. That's typically the only issue I see with silicone. It is not known to be unsafe. It's debatable whether it's like good or not for the environment. I feel like if you're just with a company who really knows how to handle it, that's not an issue. And so yeah, I think it really just depends. If you have really super oily skin, maybe go for more of a water-based solution, water-based foundation or CC cream. And then if you are very mature skin, don't have acne prone skin, you may actually want like an oil-based foundation. So keep that in mind when we're going through these. I'll mention a lot of that because depending on your skin type, as far as how oily it is, how mature your skin is. Depending on what type of product it is, the application is going to be really, really different, and how thin the product is and how thick the product is going to be different too. Thinner is usually a little bit more hydrating, more like dewy, and then satin is in the middle, and then your matte usually has like a powder formulation in the actual foundation. So you really want to be careful about that, because you could be just applying it differently and with the wrong tool, and that may be why it looks patchy or pills or just doesn't look good on your skin type. But in general, back to CC Creams, I think this one's really big on the internet for good reason. I think it's the best one out there for every single skin type out there. For those that want a skin but better look, I don't think so, because I do think this is pretty full coverage. So I will take you guys through some of my other favorites. Now let's talk about another like huge cult favorite. I use this concealer as well as the Shape Tape. They also have a creamy one, and they have the radiant one. This is really, really thick. So some tips, and my makeup artist actually have given, shout out Vanessa, has given me a few tips. You want to, with this, especially since it's so pigmented, number one, you want to, and being a dermatologist, you always want to prime the skin, right? So you want to make sure you're moisturized. I don't necessarily use a primer under my eye, because that's not an area that has a lot of oiliness and pores, but you want to make sure it's hydrated. You're using an oil. Sometimes I use that Ola Hendrickson, because it has a little bit of an orange pink tinge, so that can actually cross out some of the blue. So if you look at the color wheel, things that are across from each other will cancel each other out. So blue or purple undertones from vessels, putting like a pinky peach on top can actually help cancel that out. So you want to keep that in mind. Sometimes if we do have pimples or a lot of blue purple, she will actually kind of color correct it a little bit more instead of just going in straight with white, because that's not going to cover it. But in general, something like this will really, really add a lot of pigment to the area. So what I like to do is either put it on my hand or put it on like a little like makeup tray that I have, and I do one dot, and then I use a little concealer brush. This is of course after everything's been primed, everything's hydrated under my eyes, because this helps decrease creasing, and especially if you have mature skin. There's a really good product, oh gosh, what's it called? Let me think. I think it was like Thomas Roth or something like that. So I will link it. It's super tacky. When you go like this, it just sticks on each other, and that's really nice for a better finish, especially for those fine lines. So you want to make sure you prime it, make sure it is dried, and then you want to apply something like this really, really little bit. Sometimes if I'm in a rush, I will use my fingers just for that heat, but generally if I'm like today, I used a brush, and you want to really, really make sure it's even, because sometimes if you're just going to go in and apply a lot of something that's pigmented like this versus something that's like Kosas or a little lighter, a little bit more like watery, this will smudge and not look good and crease and cake up. So you want to just apply a little bit, let it dry, beauty blend it to make sure it's blended. Once it's dry, so that takes away all of the kind of little creases in that area, and then you want to go in and set it with a little powder, like an the Charlotte Tilbury airbrush. So I'm just going to see what the formulation for this is. Yeah, silicone based. So anything that's oxane or like dimethicone, so cone or oxane is silicone. And then the third ingredient is glycerin, which I love. This is probably why it's called creamy. And moisturizing, glycerin is a humectant similar to hyaluronic acid, and it pulls in like 1,000 times its weight in like liquid, so water, so hydration. So it really is hydrating. So love that. And everything you see has like water first, because I have to like mix it up. Huge color range. All right, next up. All right, here's another one. I don't know a lot about, I know about Bare Minerals. They are part of the L'Oreal brand, I believe, and they've been in the makeup skincare game for a really long time. But I actually have never used their tinted moisturizer. So we're gonna put it on my hand and we're gonna see how we like it. I really like the big range. So you wanna look, first of all, what your skin type is. Usually products will have one for kind of normal skin types and then one for oily skin types. If you're oily, you want something more matte. If you are more mature, you really don't want matte. This is more of a universal. If you have like red undertones, combo skin even, you want to go with like this normal skin type. So, and this is more hydrating. So I want to say I will be probably more of a neutral. Also, we'll probably talk about this somewhere else, but undertones are really important, but they do differ between every kind of company, where you have one undertone in one and one in the other. So I think it depends, and you just have to see what that color is and see if it works for you. But I will say what I just learned, pretty recently, like in the last couple years, is to sculpt, to actually contour, you need like a cool brown. You want a bronzer, because then you're gonna look super bronzed everywhere. But to get some sculpting here, I went in with like the milk, some cool brown color, or this is sold out, but I still have it, and it's the Patrick Ta She Sculpted, and you'll look at it. He has two colors, kind of more of the creamy, and it's a cool brown, and then he has a powder under it, which mine broke, but it is more of a like bronzy reddish undertone, and that is more for just like a bronze look that you're supposed to put on top, I think. All right, back to this Bare Minerals. So I would say this is like minimal coverage. Feels nice. It's very hydrating, blends out depending on so this is titanium dioxide, which I love. So if you want a physical sunscreen, this is that. The thing is, it can oxidize, so you want to go like a color lighter because it will turn darker. And this is dried up. So honestly, I'm not mad about it. And it says it's the #1 tinted moisturizer, so love that for them. So I might buy one and use it on my face and let you guys know, because I'm all for this. I like that actually. So back in my day, I knew Bare Minerals because they had just like all of their loose powders that we used. All right, next up. Oh, Dermablend. Okay, yeah. Another really pigmented product. Again, this is one that Derms are, I think this is under the L'Oreal brand, and this is something that is very, accepted by dermatologists, and the research is there. I love this for people that have vitiligo. So they have an autoimmune where their skin pigment goes away. And because their pigment here, like this right here, is just so great. Another hack, I don't know if a lot of people know this. So this is a little drop, right? So what you can do for those that have melasma, I usually recommend a tinted sunscreen, or those that are darker complected that want to go with these types that have not found a tinted sunscreen that they like, and it causes an overcast or it's just not their skin type. You can put 1 drop of this, and they even have a darker. They have a 90N and 72N and 75W. You can do 1 drop in there, and this will help with that blue light from the screens and all the LED light, and also it'll help make it so it's like formulated into your sunscreen, so you don't have like a full face of makeup. But it's a little hack for a tinted sunscreen when you haven't found a good tinted sunscreen that's your color. 1 little drop. I love that they're drops.
Thank you.
All right, I have not tried this, to be honest. I have a feeling it's gonna be super thick and I won't like it. Yeah, medium to full coverage, because I only know that because they are known for that. I like that it's SPF 50, non-comedogenic, which means doesn't cause acne, which means it's probably not oil-based, probably water or silicone based. And let's see, yeah, second ingredient, dimethicone. So most, again, products, foundations, things like that are silicone based. Again, not a bad thing. There's only one brand, and I don't understand why. It must be marketing, and I love them, but it's Kosas. And I don't think they sell it here, but I was just at Sephora a couple days ago, and everywhere in their marketing, silicone free, silicone free, silicone free, and they're making it look like it's something really bad. So I don't love that because it makes people really scared of silicone. Again, it's your decision, but if you're not, it's your decision. If you don't want to use silicone, don't use silicone. Maybe use a water base, and Kosas is one of those that doesn't use it. So this is a lot thicker. This is more of like a foundation, actually. See, I get worried. This is more like the IT Cosmetics, where it's almost like, I wouldn't say chalky, but it is very thick compared to this. I love that way better. And this, you can almost see like my lines on my hands because it just gets stuck there. So I would have to really prep my skin with this. I wouldn't say this is like a pour it into your hand, rub it all over your face type of thing. I don't even think that cosmetics one is, but I would say that Bare Minerals one, which I actually really like, is one product that I use every day, every single day for years is, and it's a little pricey, and we sell it at my office. It's Revision. So it's like a 5-in-1 where it's like a protect, so it has sunscreen, and it's a matte. So they have a different couple different brands. I like it because it's a matte because I do want a little bit more of that airbrush over my, I'm combo skin, so I'm like dry and then oily. So this has prebiotic technology, so it's like an anti-aging because I don't have time to do like a huge skincare routine. So my goal is, what can you do in the morning, takes the least time if you're not going to do the skincare routine, that you can like conceal, protect, correct, anti-age, hydrate, you know, all the things in one. So I really like that product. I want to say it's like $98 or above, so it is a little pricey. So a lot of these things are going to be a little bit more affordable, $41, which I think is pretty standard. We all love Bobbi Brown, especially a lot of their foundations. They have great eye products, but I actually have heard that people don't love, I mean, some people love it, and some people don't love it. So let's see how I like it. So it's thick. I put too much on. See, I feel like it's not really blending in very well. Also, it's not my color, but that's not their fault. Okay, let's see. So it's chemical and physical sunscreen. It smells a lot. Let's see. First of all, I don't like that it's SPF 15. If you're gonna go through it and you're gonna call it a tinted moisturizer powder and you're gonna go through the work, at least do SPF 30. 15 is usually not enough. So it has vitamin B, C, E. C is really hard to formulate into a skincare product that's a makeup because it's stability. It's really photosensitive. It has vitamin D, which, you know. So it has a lot of great skin stuff in here. Interesting. Glycerol. Okay, so shea butter. Okay, so you want to look at the first 5 ingredients. That's usually the most common stuff that's in there, like the highest. I don't know. You see, I've let it sit there for a little bit. Other than it's not really my color. It is a little orange though. I feel like they don't have a huge color range. I used medium. You either have like fair, light, light 3, medium 2, golden, deep, or rich. So I don't know about this one. Oh, okay, Hourglass. I heard this one's really good. Everyone's coming out with a tinted sunscreen. Okay, we're gonna go light, medium, warm. So this is a skin tint, but I heard it's actually a little thicker than that. Ooh, okay, no, I like cool tones, so we're gonna go, no, I'm gonna go warm tone, because it could look really yellowish if I went cool. Yeah, this looks like a good color. So I'm gonna go next to this. It's definitely a little bit more blendable. It's definitely more hydrating. Triglyceride, glycerin. Those are the second and third ingredient. Interesting. So the fourth ingredient is seed oil. So if you're acne prone, I don't know, but it's very hydrating. A lot of these skin tints also are very like glowy. I like how that dried down. So I heard it was really good. I still really like that Bare Minerals though, to be honest. Lancome, do they have a tinted sunscreen moisturizer situation? I don't see one. Oh yeah, they do. Okay, it's called Skin Feels Good. Lightweight, radiance, coverage, breathable, mineral oil free. So everyone has their like shtick, I feel like. Chemical sunscreen. So glycerin, hyaluronic acid, moringa seed oil, and their second ingredient is glycerin, which again is that humectant. Their third ingredient is methicone, so it's a silicone base, and then they have dimethicone, and then they have something that also sounds like a silicone, definitely a silicone based. Let's see, I like that. Honestly, it's a pump, it's thicker. And what SPF is this? 23. It's fine. Okay, this is really watery. I don't know if I had to shake it, but I hate this. Should we give another one a try? Let's see. We'll give Natural Blonde a try. Honestly, it's kind of the same. That is not, no, ma'am. No. You see that just smudges. It's like watery in some areas. The pigment is like there in the others. It's just causing like a gray shadowing. I would say no. Again, I'm not using these all day, every day as a tester, but I can really tell just based on the ingredients and the first feel. Smashbox, haven't heard of them in a while. They also have a tinted sunscreen. Let's try it out. Gosh, everyone has a tinted sunscreen. Stacked with 81% skin caring ingredients. Ooh, I like that they have a little mini. Okay, they have a pretty good range compared to Lancome. See, I love Lancome. They have some really good makeup products. They've been around for a long time. I love their mascara, their lipsticks, some of their powders. Maybe it was just one product. SPF 25. Let's see, I'm probably a medium. I'm gonna put it on this hand. All right, it's thicker. It's definitely more oily. That is not the right color though. What is even going on? That is not medium. Little orange. Maybe I'll go light neutral. This is the fourth lightest. Yeah, so they are mostly a physical sunscreen. So titanium dioxide, zinc oxide, but they have a little bit of a chemical. So their fourth ingredient, dimethicone. I don't know about this. I have their primer I like, but I don't know about this one. I think I would have to use it for a little bit longer to see if I like it or not. So look at this huge range. It Cosmetics is doing it right. Again, we did talk about how more of a full coverage this is, and they say it, they're not hiding it. They have a natural full coverage, matte, glowy, so this is a lot more hydrating, and these are these three kind of finishes. So I'm gonna do their like just normal skin type, and I want to say I'm light medium. You see how thick that is, guys? And I did the smallest bit. You have to use so little bit. I'm gonna show you guys a photo. I'm gonna put it up right now of me using this product on my face. So this is a thick foundation, technically. CC means color corrector. So if you have really acne prone skin, I like that it's SPF 50. I think with time it will start blending in, but you want to go less is more with this one. It's definitely not a little skin tint, leave the house type of thing. Of course, this is my just first thoughts rating right now. I haven't been using these products for a really long time, but I can really get a sense of what this product is like. Not that some are really bad. So I'll say the ones I really didn't like were Bobbi Brown and Lancome. But I love their makeup products, right? Bare Minerals, honestly, underdog. I didn't really hear a lot about them. I don't know if they're viral on TikTok, but they should be. And it said it's the #1 tinted moisturizer. And that could be just because they've been around the longest, but they know how to do it right. I really like the feel of that. It's not full coverage though. It blended out really nicely. It's almost like just a tinted sunscreen. If you want a little bit more full coverage, you can't go wrong with this, but this is thick. And this could look cakey. So you really have to be careful about this based on how it felt, the price point, and the formulation, right? Bare Minerals, buy to try. It Cosmetics, buy to try, but beware. It is full coverage. It is thick. You gotta go a little bit. And I think you really do wanna apply it with this. You don't have to use their brush, but definitely use it with a brush, because if you're gonna rub it all over with your fingers, it's gonna smudge and it's not going to look good. Bobbi Brown, so sorry, but pass. I like their makeup a lot better. Lancome, pass. Like their makeup way better. Hourglass, I have to give it a little bit more thought. So I would say buy the try. The Smashbox, I bet you it's really affordable. No, it's, this big one's 41. Pass. Pass. I think that's it for now, guys. Of course, we're in Ulta, so we don't have the Kosas. We don't have some of the other ones, but we'll do another part too.